It began after the blackout. 3 nights ago, the entire block lost power for just under a minute. Long enough for everything to reset, for clocks to blink midnight, for the apartment to exhale all its hums and buzzes into silence. When the lights returned, nothing seemed different at first. But I felt it like a shift behind my perception, something recalibrated. The first time I noticed it, I was brushing my teeth. I glanced up between blinks and caught a blur in the corner of the mirror. Just a flicker. Not a shadow, not a shape, just displacement. I turned around. Nothing was there. When I looked back, everything was still. But the toothpaste on the sink had shifted 2 inches to the left. I hadn't touched it. I blinked again, longer this time. When my eyes opened, the towel on the rack had unrolled slightly. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt watched. Not in the normal irrational way. Not paranoia. It was physical. The sensation of breath brushing the side of my face. The weight of presence in the room. Each time I reopened my eyes, the shadows seemed deeper. Objects in the room didn't look quite right. The chair faced a different angle. The lamp was unplugged. I started timing my blinks, holding them for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3, testing. The longer I closed my eyes, the more things shifted. After a 5-second blink, I opened them to find the closet door cracked open. I hadn't touched it in days. After 10 seconds, something left a footprint near the bathroom door. Bare, wide, toes too long. I haven't blinked longer than that since. I avoid mirrors now. They catch too much. Sometimes when I glance toward them, I see myself blinking out of sync. Once, I caught my reflection with its eyes already open while mine were still shut. I don't know what that means. I didn't stay long enough to find out. There are signs of movement in the apartment. The dust on the windowsill disturbed by something with fingers. Crumbs left in perfect spirals. Hair strands across the floor that don't match my length or color. A low creaking sound like floorboards settling, but always coming from a place I've just turned away from. I started recording myself with my phone propped up by the bed. I wanted to catch what happened when I slept. The video showed me tossing, turning, murmuring things I don't remember dreaming. But near the end, the footage shook. The last 30 seconds were corrupted with static, and when it cleared, I was no longer in frame. The bed was empty. The camera cut out at exactly 2:43 a.m. When I checked the bed that morning, it was still warm on both sides. I haven't left the apartment since. I've closed the blinds. I've unplugged every light. I move carefully, trying not to blink too much. I keep my eyes wide until they burn. I use drops to keep them from drying out. I don't trust what happens in the dark. I don't trust what happens between frames of perception. I've started hallucinating at least. I hope they're hallucinations. Thin lines appearing in my vision like cracks. A web of fractures forming across my sight. When I blink, the cracks deepen. Like reality is splitting just slightly each time. I saw something standing in the fracture once. Pale, narrow, asymmetrical. It didn't move, but when I blinked again, it had turned its head. I screamed, but only inside. I never saw it move. That's the rule. It never moves when you're looking. Only when you blink. Now, every time I look away, something is different. Objects vanish, surfaces rot and repair themselves. The ceiling droops and then reasserts. My own hands twitch without permission. I caught my pinky finger bending inward like it was listening to something I couldn't hear. I've marked the walls with tallies every time I feel the shift. I'm at 94. I don't know what happens at 100. My body is exhausted. Muscles twitch on their own. My vision is blurring at the edges, but I can't close my eyes. I'm not even sure they're mine anymore. I looked into the mirror again out of desperation, and the person staring back at me had dried blood on their cheeks. I don't remember bleeding. The lights flicker now even when unplugged. The air shimmers in corners. I smell static like burnt ozone and old electronics. My ears ring constantly, but not in a flat tone. It rises, falls, matches my heart rate. I think it's counting with me. I blinked during this sentence. Now the door is open. I've taped my eyelids open. The skin is raw, and the tape doesn't hold well when I sweat, but it's the only thing left keeping me from slipping. I've layered mirrors over every wall and ceiling, not to see it because I don't want Tobot to create a network of surfaces that might catch what I miss. None of them show the same room anymore. They've diverged. I move, and the reflections lag. Or worse, move slightly before I do. One of them smiled last night. I didn't. I haven't eaten in 3 days. The food tastes wrong, like the flavor is collapsing as I chew it. It turns to static on my tongue, no texture, no temperature. Water slides down my throat like melted plastic. My body isn't responding properly anymore. When I touch my arm, there's no feedback. Just the sensation of touching something next to me, even though I know it's my own skin. There's a smear on the wall near the bathroom. I've painted over it twice, scrubbed it until the plaster crumbled. It comes back between blinks. Not always in the same shape. Sometimes it's a handprint. Sometimes it's a single eye. Once it was a spiral, impossibly deep, like looking into the beginning of something. I tried filming myself again. Set up multiple angles, synced clocks. I sat perfectly still for 4 hours, eyes wide, not blinking once. But when I played the footage back, I wasn't there. The room was empty in every frame. The clocks ticked. The shadows moved. But I was gone. Then at 2:43 a.m., I appeared again, just appeared sitting in a slightly different position, wearing a shirt I don't own. My phone shows messages I never wrote, conversations with contacts that don't exist. The text is garbled, mostly symbols and looping characters, but some words stand out. Things like almost, and IAS closed, and you are seen. They come in the middle of the night, always when I've drifted too close to unconsciousness. One of them had an attachment, a still image of my own bedroom, viewed from above. I don't own a ceiling camera. The blinking has started happening involuntarily. My body takes over for fractions of a second. Each time, the world jumps, walls shift, light bends, something gets closer. It's not a hallucination. I can feel the breath, the heat of proximity, the pressure of something just behind my spine, watching from the fissure in time where perception fails. My shadow doesn't match me anymore. I move my hand and it lifts late, or too early, or with one too many fingers. Sometimes it stretches up the wall and doesn't come back down. I caught it watching me once. Yes, watching its head tilted in curiosity, as if I were the strange thing in the room. It's trying to figure out how to be me. Or maybe it already is. I hear my own voice whispering from places I haven't been. In the kitchen while I'm in the hallway. From behind the mirror when I'm looking away. It doesn't say anything coherent. Just syllables. Starts of sentences. Inhalations, preparing to speak. Last night, the windows showed a different sky. Not stars' eyes. Dozens. Hundreds. Blinking in sync with mine. And when I closed my eyes, even for a second, they opened wider. The sky flickered. The air tightened. I heard something crawling across the roof. Too slow to be animal. Too deliberate to be wind. The rules don't apply anymore. I thought if I didn't blink, I'd be safe. But the thing I invited by blinking now exists between the moments. It doesn't need my eyes shut, it just needed the doorway opened. And I opened it thousands of times. I scratched a message into the floor last night with a broken spoon. Don't stop looking. But now even that feels wrong. Because the last time I blinked, I didn't reopen my eyes. But I still saw the room.